Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another show for you today. And this is kind of like people call it the emergency meeting, they call it. Because emergency meeting, because it seems to be going all wrong at Tottenham Hotspur, especially with the fan base at the moment. You saw the jubilation of what we saw over in Bilbao when we won Europa League. A season that was the worst season I've seen in a long time as well. But then you can say that is the best moment of Tottenham's lives for quite a while, since 2008, maybe even longer than that because it was a European trophy. But now, with reality biting, truth hurts in what we're seeing at the moment. You're now seeing the reality is that really it was just that one night stand, so-called one night stand that you had, that you could have had. That moment that we had was a great moment, but really it hasn't really come up to much, especially what we're seeing with the transfer window so far, thus far at the moment. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show of shows. Your professor of truth and entertainment, your main event. Yeah, the main event, because you need a main event in the Tottenham fan base. I'll tell you that for a fact. With what you're seeing at the moment, you're seeing the meltdown from the Tottenham fan base. Something that I told you a long time ago when I was on shows. And we'll start with a bit of unleashing, because this is Mr. Box Office Unleashed for a reason. So let's keep the reputation up. Let's just say that. But welcome one and all. If you can like and subscribe to the show, it'd be great. That'd be really appreciated. And if you can subscribe to the show, we're nearly to 2,000 subscribers. And if you can leave yourselves in the comments as well, and at the end of the show, it'd be really, really, really appreciated as well. But I just need to just say this at the moment. And yeah, I'm going to be saying some names. I will be, because Mr. Box Office ain't going to be shy about it. Let's just say that. When people were telling me that, when people were telling me that I don't make sense, I waffle, I rage quit and all these things, but I see other people doing it. I just think to myself, you're right to have a go at Mr. Box Office, but you don't have it. When people make promises and say they're going to have me on their show, Spurs talk show, Sean Butler, and I've got the texts to prove it, and then he says, then he doesn't offer me the place. What am I supposed to say to that? And then I'm getting news of saying that people don't want this sort of aura. They don't want this sort of attitude from, they don't want the passion. They don't want the person that is going to speak loudest. They don't want the loudness. Well, when I was talking to you very early on in the season and said that Thomas Frank needs to prove himself on Sava's show, Football Heritage TV, and then Sava was looking at me and saying, "Oh, you're not making any sense, Alex." Made fun of me, Alex, yeah? And Sean as well. Telling me about Javi Simmons, by the way, that he's now saying that, we're all for, by the way. And by the way, I was the one saying, well, I don't believe it because I need to see it. Now he's saying what I saw on his show now, saying, oh, yeah, now everyone's saying that, now they're putting that against Thomas Frank now. By the way, that I don't even want. I didn't even want Thomas Frank. I wasn't even that bothered about him, really. You know what I mean? The only thing that was coming for me about Thomas Frank was that the fact that he's a good communicator. And, we needed a coach. And I was told this is a coach. Cool. So when I'm seeing all this stuff, and I said to them that Thomas Frank needs to prove himself. He needs to prove himself and show that he was capable of doing this job, like Pochettino did. And I do get fed up of talking about Pochettino because it is in the past. I don't like talking about what's in the past, no. But at the same time, you got to reflect sometimes, but stuck in the past isn't great. You want to move forward to the future, because you're not going to get nowhere if you're just going to be stuck in the past. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. But when Pochettino proved himself, there was no fuss. There wasn't this fuss. Yes, there was a time frame where he could have got sacked. Yeah, cool. But he still ran with it and got on with it, and then he became the legend that he was. Yes, I know to certain people he wasn't a legend, but he proved what he did then, and then it worked out the way it worked out. We should have never sacked him. Maybe got somebody similar to him, and that's it. But when you're seeing what I said about Thomas Frank, that's why I said what I said. It's the same thing I said about Pochettino, but people didn't believe me then. But now you're seeing the reaction from some of these fan base now, saying, "Oh, Thomas Frank is not the right guy. I don't like the football." So where was that energy? Where was that energy from you people? Where was that energy from you people at the beginning of the season? Where was that energy? Because I'm telling you right now, there was no energy. There was no energy from you guys. You're all hypocrites calling me out. And now I'm seeing for channels now. I'm seeing channels now saying, "Oh, you know what? I don't like Thomas Frank. I don't like harmful football I'm hearing now." But they're the ones that talk sense. They're the ones that talk sense all of a sudden. Talk sense. And they're desecrating the main event. Who told you? Who told you about Thomas Frank, saying that he needed to prove himself? Who's the same person that told you about Jose Mourinho? The same person that told you about Ange Postecoglou. That I stick by what I said, because we still had the third season with him. We had the first season with him because Nottingham Forest had the first season, and he still did the same football that he did that got us 17th. Ironically, the football that he didn't play to get Europa League, that he had to use Van der Ven and Romero to manage it for him. Yes, he won the cup. He listened to the players. Happy whoopie-doo-dah. But what has it left us? Where has it left us? Where has it left us as a football club? And then the people have a cheek to say to me, "Oh, Alex, just be positive. Just back the manager." Well, you're telling me to back the manager that you don't believe in, that I didn't believe in the first place. I go on evidence. I go on what I see, not XG, expected goals like I explained on my channel. And the best thing is, at the moment, when Daniel Levy left, what was the people saying? What were people saying? People saying, "Oh, we're sleeping giants. We've got all the money." The thing that's so great about all this, I've got the receipts. Because when I heard this, I was sitting there saying, "Sleeping giants with Johan Lang, Vinay Vitesham, the chairman, the non-chairman. You're telling me that we're sleeping giants with these people." You saw all rivals saying, "Oh, be scared of Tottenham, be scared of Spurs. They're going to go somewhere." Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Honestly. You play the blinder. You play the blinder. Honestly, Spurs fans, you play the bloody blinder. Honestly. Yeah? And now what are you saying now? "Oh, no. Didn't mean that. No. It's a mess now. Maybe you spoke too early. You know what I mean? You're in that, with Spurs fans as a club, you're in that club, yeah, right? That you're sitting there in the corner, Yeah, all snazzy and dandy. Yeah, all snazzy and dandy. Yeah, the geek in the corner. While you get the arrogant people saying, you know what, Bush out the way. That's it. That's Man City. Bush out the way. Yeah? Because that's what happens in life. Yeah? When you think you're big enough, when you think you're small enough, someone's going to just push you out the way. And that's Tottenham. That's Tottenham. You know what I mean? Because we big up certain players, which we'll talk about on the show. We'll big up all these things. They'll tell me, like Sean did, because it's on Football Heritage TV, Sean, yeah, who doesn't invite me on his show because he knows I'll banter into flipping pieces, right? Because he says to me on the text, he's saying, oh, yeah, I'll invite you on the show. Yeah, I'll invite you on the show. Oh, yeah, really? Okay. Oh, yeah, right. All lies, yeah. Okay, cool then. Stelios does it, though. Yeah, Stelios does it because Stelios is a real guy. Asthmatic, my boys at Spurskins TV, even though they don't agree with me, invite me. You know what I mean? Real people. You know what I mean? George, big up to him. Big up to the Hotspur Cave. Jay, big up to him. You know what I mean? Big up to Savard because he doesn't invite me when I do ask him. He hasn't invited me anyway recently. Yeah, he doesn't think too much of the main event then. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not like it's off my nose anyway. But moving on, we are Tottenham TV that always don't agree with me, never agree with me, but still invite me. But I'm the one that gets the blame every single time because they can't handle the main event. Big up to Chris Cowlin as well, by the way. Chris Cowlin. Yeah, exactly. So I know people. That's what I say. That's all I'm saying. Because I know the truth. Because I know that I talk the truth. I might not be the most analytical person. I might not be the most, well, I'm the most handsome. I'll tell you that for a fact as well. But, I might not be your favorite. But you know you listen because you know the truth is coming to you by Mr. Box Office to the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, your ratings killer. And if you don't know, you should have got to know already. Because I'm telling you right now, this football club is an absolute mess. An absolute mess. And I'll tell you now for a fact, yeah, it's only going to get worse. We thought the Europa League was our defining glory. Defining glory. Well, look at West Ham. They won Europa Conference League after how many years of in the wilderness of winning the trophy? Look at them now. Our transfer policy is now looking at youngsters rather than actually people that are experienced players at the moment, which we do need at the moment. We've got a manager, but really isn't really suited to what we want. We've got a director of football that, for me, looks like more like somebody that you see in a Harry Potter movie than actually a football director. I'm talking about Johan Lang. No disrespect. And we've got Paratici, whether he's coming or going, the gangster, if you want to call it, who knows how to get what he needs to get needs to get when he needs to get something. And at the moment, we've got a football club, but we don't even know what our identity is. And then you're telling me that I'm negative. You're telling me that I'm not worth watching. You're telling me that I'm just a rage quitter. Well, tell me I'm lying right now. That's sort of people that don't believe in the main event. Because you know the truth. The truth is always out there. And it's always come from me. Yeah, I've got things wrong. I've got things wrong about Postecoglou winning the trophy. But at the same time, when I pivoted to winning that trophy, the truth was, at the end of the day, he went to go into those players to get him to win that trophy. And where are those players right now, Van der Ven and Romero, getting us through to doing better in this Premier League right now? Where was that energy? Where's that same energy that they used for the Europa League? And that's something we're going to discuss in the show today. So big up to everybody in the show today. Big up to everybody who's watching. That's my thoughts today. That's my little rant on the unleashing. You know, that's my unleashing on the show today. I'm telling you right now, and I've got a lot more to say. I've got a lot more to say right now. But before we go on, because I don't want to take any more time with this person, and I'm very, very honoured and privileged to have this person on this show today. I've been wanting him for a very long time, and the reason why I wanted him for a very long time because we talk on the phone like asthmatic on the phone very long time as well, because he knows his football. We might not agree sometimes, and initially, this is funny. This guy, me and him didn't even get on at the start, but then I realized this guy, it's just how it is. You have an argument with somebody, and then you start to realize what they are as a person, and then you just start to grow as one. And even if we don't agree with each other, we can still come to consensus because we can have good football conversations. And I'm so honored and privileged to have this guy, and I'm so glad that he's well as well. So welcome to, please everybody welcome and give a warm welcome to Kuva. Big up, Kuva.
Big up,
how are you doing today?
I enjoyed that, mate. That was funny. The shrieking laughter, that was just spot on. Yeah, you said you were going to get some stuff off your chest. Yep, you did.
Yeah. I'm really honoured and privileged to have you on the show, mate.
Cheers, mate. Yeah,
I've been really, really wanting to get you on for a long time. You know what I mean? Because we talk, you like it, mate. We talk football all day. When we're on the phone, we talk about it
easily
for such a long time. So it was about time, to be honest with you.
And you're quite right with what he said. It doesn't matter if we don't agree on things. You can still have a good conversation on it, can't you?
Exactly. Absolutely. But it's a conversation that, well, I'll be honest with you right now. It's one of those things. It's like you said, toys, was it? Toys, turn off you Spurs.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming that sort of way at the moment, isn't it? At the moment, because it's pretty bad at the moment. But then I forgot even to say in my rant that my leashing. I mean, there are worse situations at the moment. Manchester United at the moment. Amarin's gone. Amarin's gone from Manchester United at the moment. That's another thing as well, isn't it? That seems to be a bit.
Yeah, there's kind of truth to things he said, but I get the feeling they're like a more high-profile mess up of us.
Exactly.
You always get the feeling they're buying players not for the manager, just because it's a big name and the board want them. And it doesn't always fit, does it? It doesn't work out. And everybody knows Manchester United, gone from the giants of our league to struggling to get into Europe now. It's pretty shocking, but we're in the same boat, so can't be too critical. At least it's misery likes company. That's all there is.
It's a bit of a mess at the moment, isn't it? It's a bit of a mess at the moment. But I mean, we'll get onto that a little bit later on in the show if we have time. But I think the main thing at the moment for me is Tottenham are an absolute mess at the moment. And I just wanted to get your thoughts initially, because I don't know if you've spoken to, been on any other show or said your thoughts on what you're saying, what you feel about what's going on at the moment. So I just would leave the floor to you. What's your thoughts at the moment? What's going on at the moment?
Yeah, I was on the Two Marks show the other night. Big up to them anyway.
Big up to them.
And I was saying that if it was down to me, if I was the owner, I would be doing the shake-up of all shake-ups. I think you've got to rebuild this club from the top down. As far as I'm concerned, a chairman should be there purely to sign the checks. I want to see a board that's comprised of ex-players that know the club inside out, know what the club, the players, the management expects, and know what the fans expect. So there's a constant connection there. Get back to making appointments with the proper Spurs way in mind. Because one thing that's been happening over the years, especially under Enoch, a little bit under Sugar's tenure as well, but that's because we were recovering from, practically going extinct. But we've lost that. I keep hearing the word DNA brought up every now and then. One thing that's for sure is our DNA have been Spurs, super Spurs from back in the 60s, when 70s, and even brought it through into the 80s. That's been destroyed. That doesn't exist anymore. I want that back. I want a consistency that every time we appoint a new manager, you know the sort of football you're going to get. Two-touch, attacking, passing football with the ball kept on the deck. Now, what I'm seeing at the moment, furthest thing I've ever seen from it, they can't pass. It looks like they can't even cope with five-a-side. So what I'd like to do is, if I've said on the other show, was I'd go on to a really radical move, and I'll just say, right, there's going to be 2, 3, 4 days this week where all you lot are doing is playing five-a-sides against each other constantly. Get the ball moving, pass, move, receive the ball back, and do that. Keep going. Anybody that's not up to the job, and I don't care how big the name is on the shirt, if they're not up to the job, transfer list. Get rid and tell them to their face, you are not up to the standard we want going forward. You're not going to get any game time, so it's up to you. And then just take whatever offer comes in. Don't hold out for 50 million for a player that's only worth 5. Just take whatever's going. I'd sooner bring youth team players in than play some of these ones that are absolutely incapable at the moment. And if you're going that far, then despite the fact I don't think Thomas Frank's done anything wrong, because he's actually doing what he said he would do. He said it was a mess. He said it was going to take a long time, and he said he would sort the defence out first. The defence is better, so it's expected. It really is expected. He's never been a champagne football sort of manager anyway, so I believe he could fix things. We could become a decent, solid, consistent top half team under him. But I don't see us going any further. I don't see any wow factor there. For me, I would have wanted to get in. Who I wanted in the first place was Areola. I haven't changed my mind, and I'm not one of those reactionary types that sees Bournemouth struggle this season and go, "Oh, he's not very good, is he?" That's nonsense. They sold how many defenders they sold at the start of the season, and they were going off to places like Barcelona. These were superstar players for them. So they've lost their defence. The main man's been out for weeks. So, they struggled for results. But I remember them playing at our place. They might have only won 1-0, but that could have been 6 or 7 easily. We were played off the park on our own ground. That's embarrassment. That's how far we've fallen. Because we should be the one dishing out the football in essence. Sure, you can lose some games doing it. But more often than not, you're going to completely school the other team, and you're going to outscore them. So I would have got Areola in, and then to replace all these players that aren't up to the job, I think we go as simple as just go into the little farmyards players. People say, "Oh, it's a farmers' league" and stuff like that. No, the Eredivisie is in Holland. It's full of really talented players. They need some work, sure. But you've got the German league, you've got the Italians, the Spanish, the Portuguese. You can go and pick out absolute bargains from there. And I'm talking mid-table players that have got technical ability, able to pass the ball, able to move, all the basics you'd expect from playing a swift passing attacking game. Get them in the team, pack out the squad with that. A manager that shapes them, improves them, and you go in somewhere. And stick with it. And when you've got the board full of those ex-players who know what's expected, the pressure's taken off them, man. The fans are going to see it as well. As soon as we start clicking and starting to play some good football again, my God, things will improve. Because there's one thing I can't stand, and that is being bored. I can take it if we lose sometimes. It's difficult if it's a cup or something like that and you get knocked out. Of course, a fan at the end of the day. But right now, This season, I think we are so shockingly bad that I've pretty much stopped watching. I've deliberately missed more games this season than in the rest of my lifetime following Spurs put together. It's that bad. I choose not to watch. That's how bad this football team is. That's how
You were doing that last season. You were doing that last season, Cooper. Remember?
Ever since, well, even the last season of Pochettino, I started feeling like it because they'd been let down so badly. But after that, get Mourinho in. I didn't want Mourinho, but if you're going to get him, buy big name players. That's what he needs, isn't it? But we didn't do that. Conte, same thing. He spoke sense. He said, if you really want to go somewhere, buying 2, 3 top players each transfer window. We didn't do that. It's always like second best budgets, things like that. Even this season, the arrival of Palhinha, what happened? What happened with him? He was an outstanding player when he was at Fulham. He was destroying other teams. Goes off the Bayern. They don't fit him in. He comes back. That's not the same player. That you're not telling me this is the same Palhinha that was at Fulham. Looks nothing like it to me. If anything, he's turned into a sort of box to box, trying to score a couple of goals, and he's just not that dominant force anymore. Still better than most of the ones we got, but the other ones are players like Odegaard and Tell. I don't think we should have signed in the first place.
No.
I didn't see what the thing is. I mean, Tell. I heard he had quite a good first half. Oh no, I heard he did quite well on Sunday when he come on.
He was all right. I think he fell away in the second half. I think he started okay in the first half, and then he just dwindled as the game went on for me. I don't think he had any impact after that, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you.
At least something then. But anyway, the point was when we signed him, people do these like analysis on what sort of player he is and how he'll fit in. I've seen all these stats about what sort of winger stroke attacker he was, and there wasn't any of the usual metrics you'd expect from a winger. He's not somebody that crosses the ball in. He's attacking. He's not tapping merchant, so he's not an out and out striker. It's just like does these unusual things. I thought, well, what's that for? Odegaard, unknown quantity. He's the sort of player should go off at, foreign clubs, Dutch league, Borussia Dortmund, those sort of clubs, who develop players and they give them a good long time in the team. We don't do that. We'll always mix it up and chop and change. Anyway, brings me on to Kudus. I thought, good signing, isn't it? But then when you think about it, Kudus was really good 2 years ago, not last season.
Yeah.
And how often do we do that? Wait too long on something until it's gone bad, and then we'll try and do something with it. And I think the only reason we got him is because West Ham didn't value him as the highly anymore. That's the only reason we got him. We knew we could price him.
That's the only because West Ham would never sell a good player to us. They would never do it.
Who we link with now because they're doing so badly? Paqueta.
Oh, Paqueta, yeah, Paqueta, yeah. I've seen Bowen for some reason anyway, but I haven't really looked at the news on that one.
Bowen I'll take. I think he's a cracking player, but he's in a terrible team now.
Yeah.
So I think we've got this horrible policy. It's lack of insight. It's lack of forward thinking with this club. It always is. So I want to just see this massive overhaul, absolutely seismic. I think the time we could possibly do that. So if we scrape together enough points to stay up, which I think is probably only going to be about 30 this season again, then do it. Then just start saying, right, we're just only picking players that will play this way. Say, Thomas Frank, sorry, but we want to go this direction now. We want to play total football again, like we used to, and we're going to stick with it. But I mean, I can't do that. That's a pipe dream for me. I've got to own the club to be able to do that. What's going to really happen is we'll continue what we've currently been seeing. There's a reason I didn't get too excited about Levy going, and that's because the Enoch part is still there. I've still got the purple and gold on my avatar because I believe that. until they start doing something that changes my mind. I'm with you on this. It's no good all the words, all the hollow words we always get. What did Vinay say? His little speech to the fans. If you go back and look at Levy's speech to the fans when he first took over, it's paraphrasing. It's
Nothing
just
different, isn't it?
crap. To be competitive. What's that? What's being competitive? Burnley are.
Yeah. I think the issue is at the moment, Kuva, is the fact that it's like I did that video. I did that video about Sleeping Giant because everyone was saying we were Sleeping Giant after Daniel Levy left. And I said about Johan Lang and Vinay. And I said, I'm sorry, if you're telling me about Sleeping Giant, I can't believe in those two people to bring us forward. I honestly, if you think those two people are, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And as we've seen right now,
it's what you're always being right with when you say "show me," because it's no good just having a name or a reputation. It's not a guarantee for success when you go to a new club. You've got to actually do it, and we've got a reputation of signing players that fail so many times. That's what I think. It's wrong. Not that we can do it anyway, but I don't think we should be going for big superstars anyway at the moment. I think the entire squad is so far below standard. We just need to build a solid base of people that can play football, and that starts with the goalkeepers as well as everybody else. They want to be able to play five-a-side too. If you're going to play out from the back, which I think is the right idea, I want to play some possession-based football. I want to play a passing game. Then get the goalkeepers that can cope with that. Even if they aren't the greatest shot stoppers in the world, it's still got to have your overall game plan there. You've got to have your style of football runs through the club. So everybody growing up watching us knows what we're about. Everybody that comes through the academy knows what we're about. And it's easy to come to the club and know how to slot in, why you were bought and what's expected. Ajax have done it for years. People say, oh, yeah, well, Ajax aren't doing very well, are they? This happens regularly with Ajax. Every now and then, they might not have the greatest crop of players coming through. And they'll accept that. They'll just say, we know what we do. We know we will have another great crop of youngsters coming through in a couple of years. We'll just be patient in the meantime, and we'll accept a lower standard than usual while maintaining stuff. They don't panic. Well, actually, you could say they have a little bit of risk. That's a different show entirely. But yeah, I'd love to see that with our club. Consistent identity, because that's the one thing we've not got.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I think that's where I'm losing my faith at the moment, Kuva. And I the reason why I act the way I act is because I don't know who we are. I've not felt since, and again, you've heard me say this before, Cooper. So I do apologise if I'm repeating myself because like I said, we've had loads of conversations about this. I've not felt the same since Pochettino left, and I used to follow Spurs and I used to really be annoyed when people had a gas. I used to be really annoyed. You know what I mean? I used to really want to defend us. You know what I mean? I think I was remembered when it was Christian Gross at the time. And they were really having a go at us. And it was during the FA Cup. And I think then Kevin Keegan was like the hero. I think he was. And I think that's when I got annoyed. And I'm just so far away from that at the moment.
Yeah.
At the moment. And it gets to a point where when I hear people I heard something on, I saw a thumbnail about Alex Crook saying you're 17th to a Tottenham fan. And I sat there and thought, well, he's correct. We were 17th. You get what I'm saying? And I can't argue with opposition fans anymore. I can't sit there and honestly, I can't do a sales pitch to them about Tottenham. I can't do it. Because
you know what? Even if we'd somehow fluked our way and won the Champions League last season, if it had worked out that way, and won both domestic cups, if we still finish 17th in the league, it's still a bad season.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why, because the thing is, though, we've both had the conversation. I couldn't stand. I think it sums it up. And beg up to Dan the Hotspur Hood, by the way. He said it's perfectly for me. He said, even though we won that cup, I still felt so struggling after that season because it taken so much out of me last season. It did. It taken so much out of me last season as well. I mean, it's like maybe I'm going into a little bit more. I mean, I was doing more stuff away from Tottenham, like you're doing,
Yeah.
than watching Tottenham. You know what I mean? I think it was just kind of watching Tottenham because you're just kind of intrigued, but you still knew what was going to happen. Like you know him right now. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's like, if you know what's going to happen in your own head when you're seeing, and it's kind of see a pattern going, it's kind of like, well, you kind of just disappointing yourself because you know what's going to happen when you're seeing it. You know what I mean? You can't keep on. You want to say you want a little bit of hope and say, but unfortunately, it just isn't miraculous magic wand to say something different's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like a Gareth Bale's going to just come out and just like, you know, after him having how many games of losing, then he turns into this brilliant player, and then you see him, and then he changes our fortune. You know what I mean? I think it's a bit. At the moment, it's just kind of like we're at a really bad area at the moment where I think it's only going like this at the moment. And I don't know whether it's unfortunate for Thomas Frank because I think he's just on that trajectory at the moment where he's kind of coming into a situation where it's a mess upstairs. And I think that's something I want to talk about later on, but I don't know what your thoughts on what I'm saying at the moment, whether you agree or not on that or anything like that. Or
I think anybody that comes to the club will suddenly realise things aren't right. Surely, they always say, you know, no smoke without fire. So you have too many things being said about what happens behind the scenes, and it's always been strange anyway, hasn't it? Daniel Levy, his whole attitude of, you know, coming into the players' lounge and stuff, sitting on the table, going, "Yeah, call me Dan." It's like, you know, well, I remember Dermot and I having a conversation about this before. Back in the day when managers were proper managers and chairmen were proper chairmen, they would be up behind that door at the end of a hallway. You wouldn't dare go and knock on their door unless you had a bloody good reason for it. Nowadays, it's like, oh, I'm not getting in the team. I'll go and have a word with the chairman. I'll go and see Dan. It's all right. And what's going on there? Where's the sense of professionalism? Where's the sense of? I think players should be fearing a chairman and fearing a manager and fearing not doing what's expected of them because they're getting paid astronomical amounts. It's just a little holiday club here at our place, and it's been like it for ages. So yeah, shake up indeed. I think you're right though. I think Frank senses it. I don't think he realised how big a mess it was till he's turned up. Here's the bad bit. Everybody's talking about, you know, Frank's not right for the club and things and want him out and everything. Like I said earlier, he's actually doing what he said he was going to do. So either we stick with it and allow him to do that and fix the defence and then build the rest of the team. I'm not particularly a fan of watching that, but I'll understand if they do it. At least there's a plan there, and at least they'll be actually backing him to do it. But now for me, it's a pivotal point. I think we've messed up so much now. Like I said, that unless the rebuild starts in the boardroom, forget it. We're going nowhere because it'll just happen again. Same old thing over and over. Then you'll have fans saying, back the manager, we've got to keep him no matter what, and others saying, this is unwatchable. So get rid of the manager no matter what. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, it's the same cycle. Doesn't matter who we get. If we can go and get Mourinho and Conte, and they both fail at this club, and they're both saying the same things, what hope has somebody else got without that kind of level of experience? So, yeah, what are we now? Find out what we are and what we want, and that's at board level. Fans know what we want. It's going to be very unusual to find a fan that doesn't want good attacking, attractive football and winning bucket loads of games. Simple, isn't it? With goal of the month every every month. That's it. It's what we all dream about.
I don't even think it's about winning at the moment, Kuva, because I think winning is important to get us into a good position in the league. Yes, and winning is important to try and make an effort in the cups. Yes, it is, but I think we won the Europa League. We've won the Carabao Cup, and we didn't do well then in the league as well. And I just think it's just a theme of it is this: what do you really want? Do you want us to play the good football and see players develop, and that's it? Or do you just want us to win at all costs? And I think that's where we need to make a decision on that at the moment. And then it leads me to talk about, and this is why I said what I said about the sleeping giant and talks about Vinay and Johan Lang. I think they're a massive problem at the football club. I think they're a massive problem at the football club a lot. I think, and it's not just specifically just targeting them at the moment. I look at them and say, when you look at the hierarchy and say, are they the guys that have the idea what they want to do to move us forward to be that juggernaut? You know, show us the identity that we want to play and stuff like that. Do they understand the fabric of what Tottenham Hotspur are all about? And I look at them and think, if I compare them to like someone like a David Pleat, for instance, if I compare myself to seeing like a, what is it? I forgot his name. Paul Mitchell, for instance, Frank Harnison, for instance. I look at those people and I don't see, and even when you see Parategy, for instance, at the moment, we're a bit worried whether he's staying or not. And I don't like Parategy, but for me, these people I mentioned right now, and this is what Simon Jordan said, they're leaders. They're leaders of what they know of how to lead a football club into whether they recruitment side, what they want in terms of the player and the identity of the player. And you know the structure. They know the structure that they need to move the club forward. You know what I mean? And then if you want to pick a manager or coach, for instance, you know what sort of coach you want to bring. You want to bring in, and what sort of coaches you should be bringing into the football club that are going to match the identity of what you want, which is identity what identity that the club are going to go forward with, whether you're playing free flowing attacking football, possession football. And my example of this, to explain what I'm trying to say at the moment, is Brighton at the moment. Now, I know Brighton are not successful in terms of winning, but they've got an identity. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And whether they sack their manager, Hosler, if they're not doing well, you know that they're going to look at research on certain managers that are going to play the same way that they're going to get in at the moment. At the moment, as it looks at the moment, all our money, all our toys are in the Thomas Frank basket at the moment because Johan Lang and Thomas Frank are intertwined. And we got him as a director of football. The only thing that I see at the moment is the problem is that you see Parategy, and I don't see Parategy in connecting at the moment, and Parategy and Thomas Frank connecting at the moment. So there's your problem at the moment. I think all our eggs are in the Thomas Frank basket at the moment, and I don't see them. If he goes, I think we're at a loss because then we're just like at square one again, because then they're going to be looking at another manager. And then what really concerns me at the moment, and this is what goes back to the example of Manchester United at the moment, they're sitting there saying about Amrin, saying, we can't give you all the players you want because we can't afford to do that. We've got to do what we can afford. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you've got to really fit to our way as much as we can fit into your way. You know what I mean? Because you're still a coach. You know what I mean? I think when we're looking at Thomas Frank at the moment and Tottenham, I think we're trying to get plays for them, but I don't think they trust him enough. I think the only one that really trusts him is Johan Lang because he's worked with him before. I don't think Parategy trusts him. I don't think he does. And this is why I think there is, and you're seeing right now, sorry if it's a bit long-winded what I'm saying at the moment, but what you're seeing at the moment is when you're seeing rumours about him looking to go to Fiorentina, because I don't think there's no smoke without fire, Kuva. There's no smoke without fire. You know, you don't see this in news for no reason. You get what I'm saying? You just don't. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? You know, and I think this is what I said. This is the last part of what I say. One of the issues I had with Daniel Levy, right, and I'm sorry to bring him up, but it is what it is, because I don't want to mention him. He's gone. One of the issues I had is that he wanted to do this model of the director of football as the ultimate, right? And then have coaches under him. The problem was, every single time we had the main director of football, they went off or they didn't get on with the manager and it just had an issue. And then that was always an issue. And then we just focused on the manager. And as you saw with like Martin Yole, Harry Redknapp, you know, Pochettino, you can go for these sort of managers, but then at the end of the day, when the manager goes, what happens to the players? Because then the coach comes in, another manager comes in, they want their own players as well. So then you're spending more money on that player. So it'd be more financially better for Tottenham if you were going for a director of football that said, okay, this director of football plays this type of football. You know what I mean? And then you get the coaches that work. It's like I forgot his name now. It used to be Manchester United manager. I think he's Switzerland manager now. What was it Ranić?
Yeah, Ralph, whatever.
Ralph Ranić. Ranić. Sorry if I got it wrong. He had the Gammon style football. I think it was like what is it? Like Jurgen Klopp, the Logan Klopp. Gammon style football, whatever it was called. Sorry if I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah, I know. The Gegenpress, wasn't it?
Gegenpress football, right? So you knew what sort of manager you needed to perform that sort of that football. You know what I mean? So, you know, to be that style. So at least then you get those sort of managers and you're growing in that sort of Gangnam style football.
The Gangnam style, I'll do. That's fine.
The Gangnam style. But yeah, it's like that really. And I just think Tottenham just need to make an idea who they want to be. What is their idea? What they want to be at the moment?
You would have thought.
I don't even know what we want to do. It's like, we just want to do everything to win a trophy. Okay.
You would have thought when Paratici was here, you would have thought Conte, manager, surely that's got to work. Yeah. They've got the Italian mindset of, get that solid defence built and then just keep adding quality players a little at a time. That's surely got to work. Not at our club, though.
No.
It's like the director of football has his hands tied, so can't do his job. And the manager has his hands tied by the director of football, but because he couldn't do anything to help him either. And it's just going to continue like that. Overall, it always stems from that lack of ambition, doesn't it? We've said it for so many years, and so many of us say it. This club is just built to coast along there and keep the tills ringing. Nothing else matters. So we just hope to get lucky every now and then, get a Redknapp, get a Pochettino, and just hope it works. Because there's going to be nothing to back them up with. I'll still ruin the day that the years, the Pochettino years, when we stopped signing players. My God, who does that? Nobody.
Pochettino did a lot for this club, like I said. Yeah. I think he wasn't there to win. I think he was there to win the big one. I think he did. I think he just overachieved what he wanted to do, because I don't think anybody really expected him to be who he wanted to be. We were going to be. I don't think he expected it. I don't think we expected it. I think he just coached the team. He was just a very, very good coach. He was a very good coach. I think he was just a coach that developed the team, and this is why I think he was saying that he needed to rebuild the squad, because he could see that it was going downhill.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you could see it. I think you could see it, and I don't think people forget that he was at Wimbledon for 2 years. I think people completely forget that he was at another stadium for 2 years. Yeah. While they were building the new stadium.
Also, just think back as well when we were chasing Leicester for the league title and then Chelsea the next season. The first team we had was great. I thought it was better than either of theirs. But then you looked at the bench when you need somebody on that bench. Like Liverpool could always bring on a Sadio Mane or a Jota or, those sorts of players. we looked at our bench. There was Vincent Janssen. There was there was Nabil Bentaleb. There was Ryan Mason. There was Clinton and Jai. I mean, that's going to take you to a league title, is it? If we'd just gone that little bit extra, I really think we could have done it.
That was the only problem I had with Pochettino at the same time. But I think he couldn't go against the board as well. Because like I said, you seem with Ramrin at the moment, when you go against the board, you ended up getting sacked.
He did though, but it was more sort of cryptic, wasn't it? He was saying about how frustrated he was. He was just with transfers and things. And he goes, some days I'm the manager, other days I'm just the coach. And I just thought, yeah, that I know what he's saying there.
But to be fair to him, it was like 4 years on from, I think it was after going from Wembley, not signing a player for a year or something like that as well. And I think that Champions League run, I think that was the final straw. I think at the end of the day,
I mean, what he said, although he got criticised for it was blindingly honest, wasn't it? When he just said, it was basically this was the one chance to achieve the impossible sort of thing. He doesn't know what, if we'd won it, what could he do from there? Because we weren't going to consistently back that up with anything.
Exactly.
It was just no. I'm not going to reminisce too much about Posh because it just makes me sad. But it was fun times.
Listen. This is why I say what I'm saying, Kuva. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. I hated it when he left because it just signaled. I knew that it was the wrong decision when we got Mourinho in, and since then I've not been happy. I'm literally in that point where I'm like, this is why I've not done a show for quite a while now. Is that I don't want to talk about Tottenham. I'm normally, if I'm really honest with you, Alex is normally at gym, getting big and smart and everything else. You know what I mean? Because that I need to do my gym fix. You know what I mean? But
you getting ripped, mate?
Pardon?
Are you getting yourself ripped?
Yeah, I'm getting myself ripped. Yeah, definitely. Try and get myself ripped for the summer. You know what I mean? Because it's not really up so much to get excited about with the weather right now. So
you just got inspired by Ashmatic, didn't you? Admit it.
Yeah. Big up to him. You know what I mean? Don't want to give him a big head though. By the way, Spurs Kings TV. If you don't know, you know what I mean. And the Spurs boys with Kuva, by the way. You know what I mean. So you need to subscribe to that channel as well. You know what I mean? But
we never do anything anymore, so it's pointless.
I know. I just want to give you a little bit of a plug. Shameless plug there, Kuva. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Just at the moment, I'm at my tether, Kuva. I've got to be honest. And I'm at that point now where I'm at the same point as you at the moment. That I don't even think, even if I think we've got a chance of winning against Bournemouth. I'm at my tether that I might not even watch that game. I don't think we're. I think we're going to win that game. I think we could win that game because
you know what, I'm going to watch it. When I stopped watching Spurs first time this season was the Bournemouth game when we got beaten 1-0 at home, and it should have been by a lot more than that.
Yeah, it should have been.
We were getting our asses handed to us, totally outplayed by a vastly superior football team. So I stopped watching. I thought I've seen enough of what I need to see this season. We're going nowhere, doing nothing. It's going to be a long rebuild. Wasn't against Frank at the time. I'm still not. I just think he's a bit irrelevant in the long-term scheme of things. He's there he's like a life raft, something to hang on to just to stay above water for a while.
Certainly.
But I came back at curiosity to see how we're doing, and I watched us against Fulham. And it was no different. It's like nothing had improved in that time. So I thought, well, is he really getting through to the players at all? I'm not so sure. But I'm going to watch the Bournemouth game now because that is a direct comparison from how we played against them the last time. The last time was painful.
A term fixture, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I admired them the way Bournemouth played. That's why I want Iraola. I just think he gets the football. The football they play is just fantastic. Under the right circumstances, when they're a club that's prepared to just throw a bit of money around. Just you don't need the greatest players in the world. He will turn them into much better players. You get your you get what Brighton done recently. Didn't they re-sign Pascal Gross?
Yeah.
What a signing that is, because it's exactly what they need. He passes the ball well. He's a little midfield general. He gets the team moving. He's got an eye for those openings and get other players and improves what's around him.
Do you think he's better than because I know he's playing okay. Pardon?
Better than anyone we got.
Because I think okay, when I look at Bentancur, I don't rate him, right? But I'm being honest, he's playing well for what he does as a pragmatic midfielder, right? But if you want to play possession-based football, I don't think he's your man. I do not think he's your man.
He's all right, isn't he? He's kind of like the oil in a tin.
Yeah.
You need the proper parts first.
You need somebody that can spread the ball, and he's just not that type of guy. Because whenever we're playing, we never have that much of the ball. And yes, he does help us in terms of. I think he's our number 6. I've got to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, because the way he plays, he's very he can tackle back, and he's always there when you need to get a tackle in. You know what I mean? And he's doing those short passes, and he's getting in the right position to do those short passes. But he's not that guy like Zubamendi, for instance, that spreads the ball. You know what I mean? Dictates the play. You know what I mean? It's very quick, like Pirlo dictating the play. Locatelli dictating the play when he's passing the ball. You get what I'm saying? Sorry about the camera. The camera's having its mind of its own, so don't get dizzy with it. You know what I mean? My camera. And the audience, big up to you all watching. Big up to you all, and please like and subscribe to the channel, by the way. But yeah, it's like but it's just that's where I'm missing what I'm missing at the moment. I think Gross is that type of player. I think he's that type of player that he's experienced, and he can take the play, and he's got that experience to know when to speed up the play, but also slow down the play as well. And I think that's what we're missing in that sense. And I think that's what everybody's been talking about a lot of the time.
Another one who was always underrated at the time, but look how he does for Sunderland, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
It's not that box office signing people would want. My God, he'd improve our team, though. He knows how to defend. He knows how to organise himself and others around him. And he's not a bad passer of the ball. I think he was always underrated, but we do actually have some players that are capable of doing it, but it's consistency is the problem. Bergval's always going to get, like, the potential's amazing and everything, but I've seen it at times. He's played well, and he's done adventurous passes. Perhaps the forwards aren't good enough to be onto some of them, but the idea was there. But then other times he just goes anonymous, or he tries the wrong things, and the consistency just isn't there at all. And I think that's the trouble with a lot of our players. And at the end of the day, what makes a good player is that consistency. When did you see someone like a Steven Gerrard put in less than a 7 out of 10 performance?
He's been. I think the thing is though with him, I think he's got the energy, and he's very energetic. But unfortunately, for a young player, he's rash, and that's just natural. And I think the overhype of him. I think it's good to have your own confidence in yourself, definitely. But I think the problem is that you need somebody experienced in front of him, so that pressure's not on him, because you can see that there's a lot of things on him at the moment. Or
you do what Dele Alli did. You turn up, all that expectation and everything, score a bucket load of goals. That's going to get the fans singing your name no matter what, especially when you're doing it from midfield.
I think people are trying to put him in this bubble at the moment. I don't know if it's going to be any good to him what we're doing with him at the moment. I've got to be honest. I don't know. I think it's ruining him at the moment. That's why I said if someone said on the show that I was on one time said that they would take 50 million for Burval at the moment, and I tend to agree, because if you could get a player, but I mean, in saying that, I mean we sold Brendan Johnson, and that was just on the chance of just taking the punt. That's the problem with that one. I mean, I wouldn't just sell somebody and not have somebody to come in straight away. That's stupid for me. You know what I mean? Because
as much as I don't rate him, I think I read since the start of last season, 38 goal contributions. Who else is doing that in our squad? I can't think of anybody.
No one. So it's a bit silly to just get rid of that player without even having anybody to replace him. You know what I mean?
You should have a plan, shouldn't you? Yeah, it's I think they were talking about it's Spurs' new idea of making sure we get the value for the money on the players, and when we sell properly. So I think they're not even looking at the state of the squad. They're looking at the state of the bank balance, and they're looking at the state of what value they can get off everybody. If the manager says he doesn't rate a player, then just sell him.
It makes no sense, Kuva. The thing is, though, the thing that annoys me, and this is where I think Thomas Frank has done right badly on this one for me, is that you didn't even play him up in forward. You didn't even play him forward wise. You know what I mean? Big up to Danny Kiriakou. You might be deluded, but big up to you, brother. Yeah. He's a good one. He's a good one, man. I love this guy.
He's another one that understands where you're coming from.
Yeah, no. Big up to Alex and Kuba. Enjoying the chat. Kuba is the greatest. Why it's WC? I don't know what that means. Sorry. The world has ever seen. I think this club is poisoned. Yep, agreed. Yep. Next 2 windows will be telling. Yeah, I think it is at the moment, Danny. Thank you for the super chat, by the way.
Next 2 windows will be telling. I'm hoping for the next 1 window will be tell out.
yeah, definitely. I would definitely want to get him out.
He's right though, isn't he?
Yeah.
When we talk about Vinay and you talk about Lang, I'd say we haven't seen them for long enough to really know what's happening there. But at the moment, I'm not sort of enthused about anything that they've done. If in the next couple of windows it's really lackluster yet again, with them, we know it's exactly the same as it was before, and bin them.
I listen. I've made my choice on them too. I'm very concerned. I'm very, very concerned at the moment. I was concerned after Daniel Levy left, and people were saying this club is going to go forward and go up. I said, "Well, no, I've got no." Look at Aston Villa. Look at Aston Villa about Johan Lang. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know. By the way, Kuva, you're a very popular guy with Danny, because he asked you a question. He asked you, what do you think about Thomas Frank?
I think he's a decent manager that will, at given time, will create a stable team, competent team that will be challenging for top 6 season after season, but no more than that.
Do you actually think we're going to get into top 6 position with him? Because I
not this season.
I don't think either, to be honest with you. I really
then again, don't. Nobody else is really doing well, are they?
Well, yeah, I think people are struggling at the moment. If I'm really honest with you, I turned off the Manchester City Chelsea match yesterday because I got a bit bored of watching it, to be honest with you. I got very bored watching it. Nothing against Man City. I think they're a very good team. They've got some great
Premiership now, isn't it? We've had this conversation before, mate. It's not as much fun as it used to be.
It's not.
It's all systems and, set roles and, get the ball back, pack the midfield, stop the other team, press all the time. Give me that Premier League from a few years back when Pep's Man City, where they had Aguero and David Silva and things, and they were smashing teams 8-9-0. Kept thinking, when are they going to get a 10-0 win? and they were amazing. What a turnaround now! And yet they've got the goal machine, Haaland, and yet he's still playing this sort of robotic fashion now. It kind of suits him, but it's not good football anymore. Arsenal trying to win the league on set pieces and defenders scoring goals. Christ, you remember when they? I was sickening when they had such a good team when they had Thierry Henry and Perez and those sort of players. That was something that I was bloody jealous of. I'm not jealous of this current Arsenal side. It's boring.
It's very boring to watch. Very boring to watch. I think it's you've seen the theme of it throughout the Premier League at the moment. It's very, very it's just one of those things. One of the things I don't like about Tottenham at the moment is these quick attacks. I don't like the quick attacks. I can't stand it. You know what I mean?
It's like good if you got good players.
It's good when you've got good players, yeah. But I think it's just you don't have time to really enjoy it. I think for me, it's very it's very it works by design. I guess it's done by design to catch out the opposition. So I get it. I absolutely get that they're doing it, but it does feel like you feel like cheated that you miss that good skill.
Put it in perspective again. Going back a few years, how it was different. When you play counter-attacking now, it is very much what we're seeing. It's not good. It's
no.
The flair's gone and the individual brilliance seems to be phased out. Go back a few years, Harry Redknapp. We had a very counter-attacking side with him. It's just we were so stylish when we did it.
It
was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, really, isn't it? The individual flair, the mavericks, the Sava and I often had this conversation as well. It's all gone out of the game. You've lost the out and out goal scorers have gone, the Gary Lineker types.
Yeah.
Now you've got to be able to press, you've got to be able to work hard, fit a certain role in a formation instead of just being a great goal scorer. You've got to have much more to your game. And these players that are the one of my all-time favourite players, Matt Letizia, he wouldn't get picked for a lot of teams now because he just wouldn't do the work rate. You would need a very special team that worked around him to do it. But back in the day, wow, he was like goal of the season contender every week. And that's for a struggling Southampton. I would love to see people like that in the game now. De Bruyne, probably an exception to the rule. He was something special as well.
It's this injury got to him, didn't it? But then you see that he still had that quality that even with the injuries, after the injuries, you can see that he still had that quality on the ball and stuff like that as well. And you can see it. You know what I mean? I just think it's a lot more energetic, hard-working teams at the moment that you're seeing at the moment. And I think it's oh boy, it's leading me to say as well, which again I don't want to go into too much because that be a later conversation. But I do think the World Cup won't be as good as what people think it will be.
Yeah, I'm not bothered.
Not bothered.
I've watched international football since '96. I think that was when Venables was in charge. We had Shearer and Sheringham up front. I think that was the year. Or was that Hoddle? Oh no, Hoddle '98 World Cup year, wasn't it? I watched that World Cup as well, just because we had some cracking players then, and we were unlucky. But since then, I've just not bothered. It just doesn't have the same magic it used to. It's all to do with it's the culture nowadays, anyway, isn't it? There's football rammed down your throat everywhere, 24 hours a day. You can flick on a channel to be able to watch live football, wherever it is, pretty much anyway. It used to be a spectacle back then. You know, the World Cup had come around every 4 years, and it was like, wow, it's like this fiesta of football. This is going to be great.
It was.
And you really got that sort of carnival atmosphere with a huge team playing a minnow. And it doesn't feel like that anymore. It's just the usual grind, going to play them again in 2 years in a European Championship or whatever it is now. They're even making up Mickey Mouse competitions I can't even remember the names of anymore. I just don't have any interest. But you're right. It's the same with the Premier League now. It feels so grinding. It's like, where's the sense of fun? There's occasional games come up and you just think that was amazing. What was that crazy game, Man City and Fulham the other week? You know, I didn't see it live, but oh Christ, you'd want to go and you had to go and see the highlights of that, didn't you? And wait for match of the day. But they're so few and far between now. It's I'm kind of thinking 1-1. It's going to be almost every game. It's what it feels like, 1-1 or 1-0. We're even worse than that. We're 0-0s now. Look like we're playing for it sometimes.
It just that's the thing. It's just I feel it's very much very tight game. You'll see a very tight game, especially if it's a good teams against good teams. You know, the tactics are so important in those sort of games. I mean, it's just lucky that we've got players like Morgan Rogers at the moment. That for me at the moment is setting the world alight, because at least now he shoots from outside the box. And I mean, it's ironic that people talk about XG and expected goals, because his expected goals is very high when he's scoring outside the box, which is ironic, because if you actually shoot and actually give yourself a chance and practice your craft, you know what I mean? You actually got a good chance of scoring from outside the box. It's so annoying when you see teams now, and you see it from Liverpool now these days, because I watched Liverpool when they were at the stadium, and you see them pass when they get in the box, and they don't actually give them an opportunity to shoot. And that's one of the things that I've heard about Thomas Frank. He don't like players from shooting outside the box, which is like,
it's very much his game plan, though, isn't it? Get the players out wide, push the fullbacks up, so make sure we get the crosses in, and score through that. But we just don't have the players to do it, do we?
We don't have the players to do it, and I just think it's very predictable. It's very predictable, and it's just sometimes it's just want a little bit more creativity and more, you know, more thinking wise. You know what I mean? Guile to think about what you want to do and stuff. And that's why I struggle with him. That's why I struggle with him, Kuva. You know what I mean? It's just like, and don't get me started that below average Emerald Heskey with Charleston. Honestly, he's
Heskey.
Huh?
I'd sooner Heskey. Heskey could tear apart a team. Even if he didn't score himself. Like,
compared to what Heskey got criticism, by the way. He got criticism a lot.
Course,
you know what I mean? He got criticism a lot.
I mean, he wasn't great, don't get me wrong, but he was effective.
But he's effective, and to be honest with you, I would take him, like, honestly, looking at the quality of him compared to some of the players I see now, I'm like, it's night and day. Night and day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's, and I'll be honest with you, Kuva, as well, and I've said it on my channel as well, I'm selling bloody Poro, because Poro's getting on my nerves now. And I it's getting to that point now where it's like, I mean, I heard that he was, linked to Real Madrid. And I was like, really? Him? Linked to Real Madrid? How bad he's in defence? as a defender, I'm like, you're joking me. He's joking me.
He's just not a Premier League fullback for me. However, I do still see him being an outstanding wing back. You just got to forget that him giving him defensive duties. Just don't do it. Play with three at the back. Play with a couple of holding midfielders. Let the fullbacks just bomb forward like they're attackers. Then he's going to be fine. He's got talent. I think it's kind of being stifled out of him at the moment. Because there was a time he was doing really well for us. He looked like a really quality player. And I think it's the same with others as well. I think the talent's there with him. Same with Romero. How many mistakes he does, or how many times he goes off the boil suddenly. But that's a quality player. When he's playing well, he's outstanding. Really is outstanding.
But do you think he's better than Van der Ven, though? Do you think he's better than Van der Ven? Because I think Van der Ven...
you can't take away Van der Ven's pace, can you? That makes him an elite level. Actually, to be fair to him, he's been a lot better aerially and just commanding his box as well.
I've said, you know me, Kuva, I'm not the most complimentary person about a player, but be honest with me. I'm being honest with you. He has improved. He has improved.
I think it's helped playing with Romero. I think they're a good partnership.
Mm.
I think Romero gets a lot of stick that isn't deserved. Some of it is. He does lose.
I think he's a bit rash sometimes, though, Kuva. I think he's a bit.
I wouldn't take that out of his game. It's what we signed him for, is that preemptive tackle. He's getting it wrong sometimes. And I think that's largely down to he doesn't trust the players around him. He thinks he's got to do it himself. I think it's affecting his game. Doesn't do it for Argentina like that, does he? Doesn't have to. He's got good players.
I think he's just less frustrated because he's got better players around him as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up perfectly, doesn't it, really, with him? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, behind him, he's got Vicario. He gives me kittens every time I see him. He's just not the sort of assured role a goalkeeper should be. Again, I hate having to give bloody Arsenal as examples, but remember David Seaman?
Oh, David Seaman
there was never any flapping with him. It was just easy, wasn't it? Neville Southall as well, going even further back.
Yeah,
played for Everton and Wales. They were just really calm. If something did get through, they'd save it and no problem.
He wasn't a flashy player, wasn't he, David Seaman? He wasn't a flashy player at all, was he?
No, they're just full of confidence, and it just translated to the rest of the team. Lots of goalkeepers have that quality, but I see it. That I don't rate the likes of Pickford. I think he's a hothead, and that sort of panicked kind of style of play that affects the team. I think he calmed down a lot for a while, and he can play well when he's calm, but it's there, isn't he? He's just got this wild streak that's not right for a goalkeeper.
No. He does save us a few times, to be fair. He has saved us a few times. I'll say that. He has saved us. But in saying that, he's still... Yeah, I mean, he has got a ricket in him sometimes, unfortunately.
It's like Gomez, isn't it? The octopus.
Yeah.
He could be brilliant shot stopping and then do something really crazy. I don't know. We desperately need a goalkeeper more than anything else, I think, at the moment. If we're really going to build a team, just build a goalkeeper that's confident on the ball, doesn't panic, doesn't flap at things, and just commands their box a bit. They don't have to be the greatest shot stopper in the world. They just have to be a 7 out of 10 every week. That's all I want. So the defense has confidence in them. They're not panicking like, oh my God, if I get beaten, it's a definite goal. It's more a case of they can relax on the ball. They can play a bit of football because they know they got a good bloke behind in between the sticks behind them. When's the last time we've had that? I didn't even feel like that with Hugo. Last keeper we had that I really felt secure with is Torshvet. Big Eric, the Viking. He's a big unit, and when he was shouting for the ball, he meant it. When he wanted it in the box, he was getting it, and it's like it's that air, that sort of aura of confidence that does spread to the team. It does matter a lot. Anyway, it's what we got at the moment, isn't it? Robbo wasn't too bad either. He was
Robertson wasn't that bad. I think in the end, I think he fell off. I think.
And Big Brad Friedel, excellent goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, but I like Brad Friedel. I like Brad Friedel as well. I think Brad Friedel was all right. I think he was unlucky because of unfortunately Lloris at the moment. But I'm just looking at, because there was something that I wanted to talk to you about, because recently we really are looking at a left winger. And it has really heightened. The intensity has been really heightened with the fact that now Kudos is injured, possibly. Also, there has been rumours about Alderbear. He came off in the game against Sunderland as well. So I know that Tottenham are looking for youngsters. Now, one of the things that I've seen in the reports, Adi Mola Lukman, one player that we're looking at. What is it? Manouche Agalouche, I think, as well. There's there's also Nico Williams as well and Silvino, but I think those are kind of pipe dreams at the moment. But another winger that I don't know whether you've heard about this winger, Christos Tavalus, I think it is, from Club Bruges at the
Don't
moment.
know that one.
I think he's a Greek. I think he's a Greek international at the moment. Is one of those ones that are targeting at the moment. Now, I've made myself very clear on what I want. And I think it's just because at the moment I'm looking at the profile of the players we've got at the moment, and I'm just thinking we need experience. I mean, someone that scores goals, someone who's had experience in the Premier League, and has won a trophy. And for me, it is Adamola Lookman at the moment. For me, is the man for me. I just wondered what your feelings are. What sort of winger you would like?
The player that was at Everton a long time back and didn't really do anything. Am I thinking of the right one?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he used to be at Charlton as well, at Leicester City as well.
He didn't really do a lot though, did he?
He didn't, but at Atlanta, he seems to be growing a lot, and he won the Europa League 2 years ago with them, and he was the main guy.
So a lot of players do well when they go abroad, but they're not the same when they come back, aren't they? Sancho, that's a prime example at the moment.
Sancho's definitely is, yeah. But the only reason why I say it is because he's got experience, and I think we need experience at the moment that can score goals, because obviously now we've lost Johnson now. We need somebody that's going to be able to give us that opportunity to score on goals at the moment.
I don't even think you need the experience so much when it comes to the forwards. You just need something special, a bit of a spark, unpredictability, bit of skill, bit of even showboating, just something that's going to get the crowd off their feet. Somebody's got an eye for creating a goal and scoring a few. Technically good again. It's back to what I was saying earlier in the program. Just somebody that can control the ball instantly, able to look up, pass it, and move back into space. You get a few of those up front and a few of those in midfield. In fact, just to get it across the team. We've got some that can do that already, but they seem to have forgotten. I think we're going to look a lot better when the likes of Maddison and Kulusevski are back, because they can do that. And I'd sooner see 3 playmakers behind a forward than just relying on one through the middle and hoping all comes good. Again, this Xavi Simons. When we were linked with him, and I was hearing on all sorts of channels, he's a needle mover. He's going to make, that's really world class. That's what we need. And I just thought, well, I've heard that with a lot of players coming over to the Premier League, and it doesn't work out. And that includes the likes of Shevchenko. It was absolutely lethal. Not when it came here, he wasn't. You know, Chelsea shown out massive amounts of money on Fernando Torres, after he'd had a nightmare year for Liverpool, coming back from injury, and he wasn't the same player. But there's the assumption that, oh yeah, he's experienced and he's scored goals in the past, so he's going to be great. It doesn't always go that way. I think we're much better off taking some, like I said, get the right manager in who wants to get your team playing football. And I do mean Areola. I'll take him right now if I could. And then just get in those players that have that common thing. They want to play football. They want to get the ball on the deck, pass it around swiftly, move in a position, playing like they're having fun and playing 5-a-side, like almost like it's a training match. Just get them back to playing for some football. Then you get a possession. That stops the amount of shots we're going to be conceding, because we'll have the ball. So don't have to worry about defensive drills constantly. Worry about that later when we've actually got the basics right. What was the best team I've seen in my lifetime was that Barcelona time, when Pep had Barcelona, and Messi at his prime, and Iniesta. They worked hard. They defended by pressing and getting the ball back as quickly as possible. But then what do they do when they get it? They just pass and move. It was so simple for them. That's what you should be aiming for. As far as I'm concerned, that's what football should be. And just because we don't have the money to go out and spend on world-class players to do it, doesn't mean we shouldn't try. You should always try, aspire to be the best you can possibly be, not just accept that you can't do something, so therefore don't bother. And I'm never going to buy into this crap about, oh, well, the attacking free-flowing football never got us anything. It's the only times I remember it really getting us anything. I mean, bar the Europa League last season where we defended and stunk the place out.
Which was not he the players told him to do that, not him, the manager.
I don't think it's a case of they told him. I think it's a case of they took it upon themselves to do it.
Exactly.
It was nothing to do with him.
That's
I remember in previous rounds, he actually said, he was questioned by the reporter and said, did you tell the players to do that? And he goes, nope. I'll certainly never told them to play like that. They took it upon themselves. So he admitted it. We were more successful when they ignored him.
That's the point. That's why now I don't listen to it. And you've seen it because people say they want season 3. I've heard people saying they want season 3 with him. We got the season at Nottingham Forest, and look what happened in Nottingham Forest.
Could have a season 4 in the Championship then as well.
Exactly.
Because it was getting worse.
Exactly. I don't know what else to say. On that, really. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of those things, really. You know what I mean? Big up to people in the chat, by the way. Big up to everybody. Kuvi, you get a lot of love. You get a lot of love.
Of course I am.
Exactly. Yeah. You get a lot of love in the chat because they miss you, Kuva. That's telling you something, Kuvi. You can't stay away. You can't stay away, really, to be honest with you. I mean, for me, at the moment, like I said, because I think we're going to wrap up soon. Because I think Kuv's got things to do this evening, and we all got.
No, I haven't. You're just making excuses because you run out of waffle.
Yeah, I know. You calm me down, Kuva. You calm me down. You know what I mean?
Well, we're going to have a good discussion again. I like it that way. So.
Yeah. No. We're gonna have to do this again. Definitely do this again. I
want to really sort of interrogate you on some of your wildest things you've said, so we get a proper explanation.
Yeah. That'd be good. I
think people will understand where you're coming from a lot better sometimes when you just have somebody there to calm it down rather than at box office style.
Yeah, I know.
However, start of the show, that was brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, listen. Sometimes it has to come out. You know what I mean? It's been held back. It's been held in, Kuba. You know what I mean? But I think I'm learning now just to ignore Spurs in certain times, and that's it really for me. You know what I mean? Because I mean, what do you see going forward so far? Because I mean, looking at the fixtures that we've got so far, well, going forward, we've got the FA Cup coming up with Aston Villa. And also we've got the Bournemouth game. And I think we've got a Champions League game in the middle of that as well. So what's your thoughts on what's coming up? Are you optimistic about what's coming so far, or are you just because we've got Dortmund game, we've got Burnley game, and we've got the Frankfurt game, and that's all in January.
We're incapable of winning any competition we're in, so I'm not worried about any of that. All I'm worried about is hopefully we don't get relegated and players start improving by the end of the season and we start seeing, so we look like a competent, organised team. And then if it was down to me, Frank would go out, Iraola would come in, and he's got a squad capable of defending at least, that we add quality. Well, it doesn't have to be top price quality, but like I said, just players that can play proper football. Ball on the deck, pass, move, attack. Defend as a unit, attack as a unit. And none of this, sitting back and absorbing the against it. We should never be doing that against a team like Bournemouth, with all due respect to them, especially when we're at home. Us have been forced to play in our own half while they have wave and a wave after attack against us. That's embarrassing.
It is
That is
embarrassing.
truly embarrassing. I do buy into that we're sleeping giants because we are, but you apply that also to Villa, to Everton, to Newcastle. There's several Birmingham City even. These are clubs with big followings that should have been doing a hell of a lot better over the last 40 years and just haven't.
To be fair to Newcastle, though, they did win a trophy and get top four. That's a
Yeah,
massive
they're
achievement.
now doing what you'd expect them to do, but you'd expect them to go even further. But they've been handicapped by the financial fair play stuff, haven't they?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's become more. It's funny, isn't it? To make it more fair for clubs, they've now penalised anybody doing what Man City and Chelsea did. So
Yeah.
now nobody can catch them. If anything, I should have just said, let it go. It all goes. If you want to buy up a team
It's,
and pump 2 billion into it, do it.
it's just hard, isn't it? It's just hard now, isn't it? Because of the financial fair play now, isn't it? And it's just annoying now, isn't it? It's now they've seen lots of young players coming through as well. It's just annoying, really, isn't it? And it's
Yeah,
frustrating that you can't
it's
do it.
ring fenced all the clubs that have already done it, isn't it?
Mm.
It's that you can't compete with them anymore.
It's
Um,
just,
we, like I said, that's why I think it's so important we get that identity that's the same season after season after season. I just fill the club out with players that know how to play with a ball on the deck, pass it around, and keep that going. Because then you grow your own superstars rather than having to buy them in for 150 million. How
mm,
about we have our next Harry Kane come through? How about we pick our next prime Dele Alli for a few million? That's okay. I've got no problem with doing that. It's going to take a while, but right now we're in such a mess. No instant fix is on the horizon without a complete takeover. Not just a new CEO with all these magic recycled Daniel Levy words from the past, and we do exactly the same. No, we need proper football people in
mm.
running the club on day to day.
Director of football that knows how to make sure a club.
Wouldn't even need a director of football. Your boardroom would be your director of football because there'd be ex-players. They'd talk
Mm,
about transfer targets. They
mm,
would have a really good idea who can come in.
mm,
Or they do the appointment of the director of football, who's also going to be somebody they know knows all about football.
mm.
Oh, for another Terry Venables or somebody like that. Or even
Yeah.
David Pleat coming back. He knew how to pick a player, right?
He knew about the club, isn't it? He knew about the club as a
Yeah,
whole as well. That's the thing. I mean, I think he's
absolutely.
retired now. I
Yeah.
I'll give him a lot of credit, David, because I didn't really like him in the interim. But now, looking back now, looking at what we've had so far, especially with director of footballs, especially Johan Lang and Prodigy, he was actually very good. He was actually very good at what he does for Tottenham. You know what I mean? He had a few issues with certain managers and stuff. I will say that, but I think he still was. He knew how to pick a player, definitely. You know what I mean? And I think some of the players that he'd bought in the past. I mean, I think Dele Alli was one of his choices. I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah, he had such a knack for picking out talent from lower divisions.
Mm.
Um,
It's like Chris Ramsey. I think Chris Ramsey was a very good spotter as well. I think in
I've
terms of
I've heard that. Yeah,
very good player as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like I said in the title, it's all gone wrong at Tottenham Hotspur. And like I said, if they do make the choice of sacking him, like we saw with Man United today, it's gone really badly wrong.
I don't think we're in trouble or anything. It's just boring,
No,
isn't it? That's
no.
it's like get a party packet of crisps and you're thinking, oh, I love my salt and vinegar and cheese and onion and stuff like that, and then you open it up and every single packet is plain, and
Exactly.
that's all there is. It's like, oh well, it's crisps, I suppose, but I don't want them.
It's one of those things, isn't it? I feel frustrated. I feel a bit bored at the moment, like I said, and it's one of those things. But we have to wait and see what happens against Bournemouth next game, and then take it from there. But
I fear for that one.
I, I I'm I'm in an iron right whether I'm going to be watching that match at the moment. I've got some things else that I might want to do rather than actually watching that game at the moment. Because, like I said, Spurs watching Spurs, like I said on Chris Carlin, ruins your love life, especially when you're at the stadium. Because if you're in that mood still after a game and you still want to get it off your chest, you can't get rid of it. And unfortunately, Mr. Box Office, Alex doesn't drink, so and he's not going to ever drink. So it's like you can't just take it away from that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, it's like what is it? People's favorite drink now? The Bacardi now these days. You can't get a Bacardi or forgot what the other. You know what I mean?
Bacardi about 50 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, probably. That shows you how out of touch with people that drink. Anyway.
Yeah, I love it. You're having a guess at some drink.
Because I don't even know it really. You know what I mean? It's Hennessy. That's it. Yeah, because I know people talk about Hennessy. People talk about it when the places that I go to. It's Hennessy now these days. Everyone loves
Jordan Hennessy.
No, Hennessy. That's not the Hennessy, whatever it's called anyway. You know what I mean? Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody. Thank you very much, and very much a pleasure to have Kuva on the show today. I hope everybody's appreciated of Kuva, and you do subscribe. I know he might be not doing that much on his channel, and Bobby K, but please do subscribe to Bobby K and Kuva's channel, Free Spurs Boys. Bobby K, was an absolute pleasure at the Fulham game.
Yeah, I'll probably be on more at the end of the transfer window, and we actually see what this glorious new change on the board is actually doing. Forget the talk. What are they actually doing this window?
Well, I think something's going to happen this week, because when you're seeing what's going on right now, especially with the Brendan Johnson sale, I think something's definitely. I'm not in the know. Definitely not in the know. Have I gone frozen, Kuva?
Your voice is fine. That's what matters at the moment.
Yeah. Basically, I would say at the moment, I think something definitely is going to happen this week. Definitely going to happen this week.
You know what? You know what's a good sign for me is we're not being constantly linked with a player we're about to sign, because that usually means we're not getting them. When it's quiet, we tend to get somebody through the door all of a sudden. Now I think you've frozen completely. Well, that'll be. I can't even turn the stream off for you, buddy. So I'm just gonna do the cowardly thing and just skedaddle. I wish I did have control. I would mess around with this. Anyway, I will say bye to everybody then. Bye. Nah, good. Nice to see a lot of people watching. Good to be back on stream. Thanks for the kind comments, everyone. And Alex will be back soon. Cheers.
Hello, guys. I can't believe what just happened there. I don't know what's just happened there. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh, that was. I can't believe what's just happened there. Let me just get. Oh my gosh, what happened there? Someone's out to get Mr. Box Office on the show. Can't believe it. Don't know what's happened there. Yeah, so big up to Kuva though. Big up to Kuva. Big up to Kuva. And big up to everybody who's watching the show today. I don't know what happened with the show. I don't know what happened there, but you know, we still carry on. We still carry on. And we still carry on. And thank you to Kuva for coming on the show. Really enjoyed that chat with Kuva about Spurs. Tottenham having that Tottenham chat. Very interesting conversation, and it's always a pleasure to have him chatting to him about Spurs, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope you lot enjoyed it as well. I think Nugget says Enoch trying to shut you down. Yeah, yeah, probably must be anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that'll be we're going to wrap up the show anyway. Thank you for everybody who's watched the show and commented on the show. Thank you for Danny for his super chat as well. Thank you for that as well. Really do appreciate that as well. Please like and subscribe to the show. Please like and subscribe to the show, Mr. Box Office TV. And please also keep your notifications on for very much less reactive content, because I'm working on it as well. Because let's be honest here, there's nothing really to be enjoying about Tottenham as well. On the day, well, I called out a few YouTubers. That make promises and say a lot of things. Sean from Spurs Talk Show. And say, oh yeah, Spurs 5. I'm like, not still. That talk about, wait, they speak for the people. No, they don't. They don't speak for me. Those people that say to me, oh, Alex Crook, why are you having a go at Tottenham? Because you're 17th. Why are you arguing these people? You're embarrassing yourself. You know what I mean? Tottenham have got to make themselves known. They've got to make themselves known. You know what I mean? On the day that we still are celebrating people like Archie Gray and Birdval and Alderbear and Mattis Tell. And like I said before, is Mattis Tell better than Barnes? No. Is Mattis Tell better than some of the Brighton players? No. Is Alderbear better than Aaron Leonard? No. Is Archie Gray touching anywhere near like Lewis Miley at Newcastle? No. No, he's not. He's not. He's not good enough. Birdval, not good enough. So we need better players. Maybe my expectations is that I got to just lower my expectations. I need to lower my expectations as a Tottenham fan. Maybe I have to lower my expectations and say, and then when people say to me, just believe, I'll just say, I need to see it. Like we had the conversation with Kuva. Maybe I do need that. Maybe I need to see it first before I get too excited or get. Maybe I need that time. Maybe I need that. Maybe I just need it at the moment. Because at the moment, I need to see, I need to prove it. Not like Alex Postecoglou did, to sacrifice the control and let the players do it for him and proving nothing. It's proving that he didn't change. I need to see it. I need to see evidence. And then I can change. You know what I mean? So big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody watching around the world. Big up to Kuva. Big up to Kuva. Big up to Kuva, my man. Big up to him. Big up to him. Like I said, he'll be more on the show because, it's an absolute pleasure to have him on the show. Absolute pleasure to have him on the show. I'm really happy to have him on the show, and it's an absolute pleasure. And, but yeah, like I said, don't believe what you hear about Mr. Box Office. I don't waffle. I talk truth. Maybe I need to speak it out a little bit better, more entertaining for you. But I'm not going nowhere. No one's getting rid of me. And I'll still call out people. I'll call out people for what I see and what I don't like. And the people that are hypocrites. Hypocrites out there. I'll call them out all day long. Because they don't like the fact that I'm here. I'm here to talk the truth. And as always, like we always do, please like and subscribe to the channel. Because if you want more doses of Mr. Box Office, you know what to do. And as always, thank you to everybody on the show today that's watched. I'm sorry I didn't get to all your comments. But we'll have another show soon. Big up to Duro Diaries, by the way. George, big up to you. Big up to Mark's show. Big up to Sue Smith. I saw you all. Big up to Sublight. Big up to you. Big up to Stratford Steve. Big up to you. Big up to DJ Paul Williams. Big up to you. Big up to thfc. Big up to you. Big up to everybody who's watching around the world. And obviously, Kuva, thank you for coming on. Thank you for... Big up to Edem2758. Big up to you. Big up to everybody who's watching around the world. And as always, as we wrap up this show, if you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office, subscribe and like, and come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.